Talking about another person that they don't know me at all. I mean, it's just hard to believe to hear people say that about you. I mean, it's like they're talking about Jane Smith or, you know, Mary Jones. I mean, I don't know who they're talking about. They're like, they've got, I don't know.
You've got a daughter, and you've got now 2 babies, and you have a husband you love. It must get hurtful to read some of those things.
It does get hurtful sometimes, and it's hard to deal with, but I really have to just let it go because I always have to realize that there's 2 different things going on here. There's myself, who I truly am and know, and then there's the public person or the professional person, and that public professional person has fantasies. I mean, there are fantasies that are being written about me, and there's nothing to do with reality. But, you know, the fantasies can sometimes be in Time magazine, too, not only the National Enquirer. Just because it's Time magazine, you know, chances are, oh, you think, well, that's going to be great. Not that I'm attacking Time. I'm just saying more respectable publication. But still, even respectable publications, it's just somebody's opinion. But it's not me. I mean, my mother knows who I am. My close friends know who I am. And the people that work with me know me. And people that, I don't know, they've got their own problems. So they're really, what they're saying about me is more reflective of what they think about themselves.
That's interesting. What was the most hurtful headline that you ever read in one of those tabloids?
It wasn't in one of the tabloids, because I never take any of that seriously. The most hurtful one was many moons ago, and back in 1975, it was Gene Shalit on the Today Show, and he was reviewing a movie that I was in, that I sang in. He said I couldn't walk or talk, much less sing. And he held up a sign, a little, like a sign, you know, on a stick, and it said, bomb. That was pretty hurtful at the time.
But what about some of the personal stuff? I mean, they say that you turned down $1 million for your 2 babies to be in a commercial.
I wish, are you kidding me? You think I'm a fool? I wish that I mean, first of all, I didn't have a chance to.
What do you mean?
Well, nobody offered me $1 million.
Well, I know that was in the tabloid, and all that stuff between you and Bruce. Is there a lot of friction on the set because of the scripts or relationships?
Well, there are a lot of, like, scenes where there's anger and a lot of things happening, and whenever you have to be angry, a lot of times with an actor, you tend to kind of get angry. At least I do. And Bruce Willis and I realized that we did that, I guess, about a year into doing the show. That whenever we had to be angry at each other, we'd have a big fight.
It doesn't even faze you.
Nonsense. I'm as phased as the next guy.
See what I mean?
Look, Maddie, what is the big deal?
Ouch!
Ouch!
Out of my office, out of my sight, out of my zip code. Go somewhere. Need I be more specific?
Take a moment here for a perspective check.
When you and Bruce would pick a fight with each other, what was it you picked a fight about? What would you find?
Hair. I mean, he'd look at me and go, why don't you get an updated hairstyle? And I go, at least I have some to style. And it was funny. But Bruce and I have a basic affection for each other. And I think we still have that, and it's both things going on at the same time, you know, but it's hard to stay in love with someone when you're not in love with them to begin with. In other words, you're, you know, acting.
Do you ever put another person's face in front of his?
Many times. Yeah, I use Boris Karloff a lot.
I want to tell you, you've had some real ups and some real downs in your lifetime, in your short lifetime. And you've managed to survive them very well. But you left town at, what was it, 1978?
Mm-hmm.
You left town, and there'd been a string of some movies that didn't get good reviews, and...
One of them was with you.
We have to bring that up. Yes, 1978.
But you know, I did that film with you, a television movie, and then right after that I did another feature with Angela Lansbury and Elliot Gould called The Lady Vanishes. And that's when I moved back to Memphis to have my baby. But both of those films were in the can. I had no idea that neither one of them would be successful. I really went back to Memphis. I wasn't running with like a dog with my leg between, you know what I'm trying to say, leg between my legs, leg between my tail. I wasn't running like a dog with a tail between my legs at all. I felt like I was on the top of the world. I felt that I'd done the television movie, first television movie I'd ever done, and a feature which I had hopes for. And I was pregnant, and I wanted to be with my family during the pregnancy.
I'm so glad you're clearing this up, because this is one of those other misconceptions. I mean, all of the press was writing that, you know, that Cybill went back home and is giving up Hollywood.
Well, it's very strange because I've told people the truth, but it doesn't fit in with the fantasy. I think those people are making a living that do those papers. They're trying to make a living like everybody else, and they're living, the way they can make a living is to get sensationalistic material. Whether or not it's true, you know.
Doesn't really matter.
Mm-mm. Well, you just got to realize that that's not really the truth and, like, not take it too seriously.
What about the singing career? You were serious about the singing career, and you have a couple of albums.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still there? Do you still want that?
I was a singer to begin with first. I studied music from the time I was 16. I studied opera for 3 years. I have an excess of vocal energy. If I don't sing, I drive people crazy. And anyway, singing is something I do as naturally as walking. So I sing. And I remember I once had a boyfriend, and it was early in the morning, and I was singing, and he looked at me and said, "Do you have to sing?" And I thought, our days are numbered.
This is it.
That's like telling a songbird, you know. But I try not to sing too often in public. It embarrasses people.
Why did you choose to do a film now that you've got 2 very small babies and all the responsibilities at home?
I just don't believe in not doing something that was really a great opportunity because of my children. I mean, I think that would set me up for a situation where I might resent them, which is not a good thing. And I think the best thing you can do for your children is set an example. You know, it's easy, and I tend to do it with my 9-year-old, to lecture and get into that, you know. Now, you know, when you do this and that, and then, and I can just see her go, turn right off. You know. But, so I think it's hard, but it's been wonderful. I feel like I have the best of everything. Though today, actually, I feel like Bette Midler, when she said, if this is having it all, I wish someone would come take some of it away. I thought that was the greatest quote, because there are those days like today when I just feel like, how do I do it, you know, work and be a full-time, have a full-time job, 2 24-hour jobs. I don't know, today I don't feel like I'm doing it very well, because I'm sort of going like, I can't handle it all today, you know?
And you probably go through days like that where you
yeah.
think, I've got it all handled. Have you had any of those days?
Oh, where it's great, you mean? Oh, yes. Yeah. I would say probably most of the days are like that. I would say 60-40. I would say 70-30. Good, you know, that the days are wonderful. I feel like my life is incredibly rich.
You said that your husband, Bruce, is doing at least 50% of the raising of the children. It sounds too good to be true. He sounds too good to be true.
Well, I think there are a lot of men that would like to do that. I think our culture has denied men access to their children in a positive way, and it just wasn't considered manly to change diapers and really be a home husband.
What is it that he actually does?
He changes diapers faster than anyone, faster than any of the nannies. He whips those diapers on and off so fast. Record time.
Tell me about the twins. Are you seeing a personality with each one of them?
From birth, I did.
Really?
From the minute they emerged from the womb. My daughter was first, Ariel, and she came out like a spider monkey.
Really?
Reaching out, so alert, it was frightening. The doctor said he'd never seen such an alert child, and he just went taken aback. And she breathed right away. And Zachy came out, he was just a little more laid back, and he breathed right away too, but he was just, yeah, okay, that's interesting. So they have very different personalities. They walk different, they talk different. They're not identical in any way. They're fraternal twins. They're just 2 totally separate people who happen to inhabit the womb at the same time.
What about Clementine? Did you decide that with your daughter you were going to make any changes from the way you were raised?
Not so much with my parents, because they were really good parents. But the culture, I grew up in a much more sexist, I suppose, sexist culture. I think that we have come a long way. So I grew up very insecure. I don't know if, and I was hoping so much, and it seems like a lot of women are insecure. It seems like all women want to lose 5 pounds. You know, we're not happy with our bodies. But anyway, the one thing I wanted for my daughter was that she had more confidence than I did. I never believed I could really do anything.
You know, they talk about the mystique of the Southern woman. and how the Southern women have it absolutely knocked. They know how to handle life. Would you say that's true?
I don't know if Southern women are better off, but I just know that my grandmother was really instilled in me a sense that, you know, I had to stay who I was. You know, don't forget who you are. You know, you're the same person inside, always. And she always said, stay in the middle of the road, never go too far to the right or too far to the left. And what else? Stay pure vanilla. That was it.
What's that mean?
Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, you know, I'm sort of plain and simple. I'm sort of the girl next door.